Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'll be showing you all of Kratos' costumes in the second God of War game. You unlock these by doing certain things, like beating the game on title mode or collecting Cyclops eyes. Again, like before, these costumes benefit the player in some way. For example, giving you infinite magic or increasing your strength. Here you can see Kratos is dressed as a fish. You unlock this by completing the game on any difficulty. It's funny to see that once again Kratos is dressed in a costume of an animal. On his arms and legs you can see a nice added detail of bubbles, and on the head of the fish you can see its bulging eyeballs, which adds even more amusement to this costume. Here you can see his blades have been replaced with two large fishing hooks. The design of this costume, his blades, and the name being Cod of War makes this costume another one of my favourites. This is the costume in game now. Here we can see Kratos is wearing parts of the Hydra that he killed in the last game, as well as gloves and boots. You also unlock this costume by completing the game on any difficulty. He's no longer wearing his loincloth, as you can see. His shoulder guards appear to be bone-like, with perhaps teeth protruding from the top of them. His chestplate too is made from the scales of the Hydra. His belt buckle reminds me of the door on the boat from the first game too, which is interesting. Here his goatee is different too. You can see what appears to be a design piece woven into his goatee, which I like quite a lot. Kratos' eyes here are different too. His eye colour in this game is grey, whereas in the last they were green. You may have also noticed his eyes look weird, particularly on his bottom eyelid. His eyes look like this on all his costumes, and his default variant too. You can see his eyes like this in some cutscenes within the game. This is the costume in game now. Unfortunately, as you saw, this costume doesn't have any custom blades. In fact, only two of the costumes that I will be showing have their own custom blades. The rest share these two variants of the blades of Athena. Here they are now. I am upset to see that there are only custom blades for only two of the costumes in the game. I think that they could have gave them all to the other costumes. Maybe they ran out of time for the other costumes. Here we have my favourite costume in the game, and you unlock this by completing the game on God mode. Here Kratos is basically the same, except for the fact that his skin is no longer ashy, his eyes are now completely white, and his tattoo colour is now gold. His loincloth is now also black, and the pattern colour has also been changed. For as simple looking as this costume is, I think it's made Kratos look even more badass than he already was. It's made him even scarier too. To me he looks like some sort of demon. Perhaps a demon of vengeance. This is the costume in game now. Here we have Athena. As you can see, she's wearing a lot of gold and white. You unlock her by completing the game on Titan mode. I really enjoyed this costume. From her headwear keeping her hair up, to them being the pattern on her face, her upper body armour design, to the cloth she's wearing too. Her design as a whole I just really enjoy. They have really captured the essence of a goddess with Athena. Her swords too, the design of them is just great. The entire sword from the guard to the blade is covered in an interesting gold design. I think at this point she's just showing off. This is the costume in game. Here we now have Hercules. You unlock him by also completing the game on title mode. I find it very interesting that Hercules is an unlockable costume in God of War 2, as he is an actual character within the third game. He also looks completely different. Here you can see he isn't wearing much for armour, apart from his shoulder guards. The rest of his outfit is just some leather straps and some sort of cloth on his upper body. This is the costume in game now. Here we have another simple but amazing costume. You unlock this one by collecting 20 Cyclops eyes. I love this costume as we get to see Kratos' olive skin, what he looked like before he was cursed with the ashes. His arms no longer have metal guards around them, but instead his bandages like before. His calves are also no longer metal, but what seems to be leather instead. His belt too, that keeps his loincloth up, has also changed. That also is no longer made of metal, and the pattern that was also on there has gone. For as simple as this one is, I really do enjoy it. It's nice seeing Kratos without the ashes. This is the costume in game. Here we have an amazing costume, Kratos in his God Armor. You unlock this by receiving the rank of God in the Challenge of the Titans. We see this armor briefly at the beginning of the game, but to actually have it as a costume is amazing. Here Kratos is kitted up in his armor. His shoulder guards have what appears to be rams carved onto them. His chestplate design too has some sort of wolf breed on them. The back of him too has an interesting design. It looks like it's the head of Pandora's guardian, the huge minotaur that you fight in the first game. Underneath all of that too is chainmail. Kratos is ready for war with this armor set. His God Armor is just amazing. Here it is in game now. Well, I hope you all enjoyed seeing these costumes as much as I did. I think they're all pretty great despite the fact that only 2 of them had custom blades. Tell me which one was your favourite, or perhaps even least favourite in the comments below. That's all from me, and I will catch you all in the next video.